We're going to talk about hot import nights, aka Hin. This is a quintessential Hin car. If you're already familiar with that and you just want to skip ahead, see what this show is like in 2021, skip to this timestamp right here. Those of you who'd appreciate a little context, I'll take it back for you. So, okay, the early 2000s, right around the release of the first Fast and Furious film, this look, this tuner car look, where you'd have a typically Japanese car with big ground effects, big wheels, neon, underglow, an exhaust pipe. This kind of started bleeding its way into the mainstream, and they would have these big shows and conventions. The biggest of all these shows was Hot Import Nights. It was more than just a car show. It was a vibe. DJs and models and lights and sounds. It was all very poppin'. And then faded back into relative obscurity, except not really, because the scene still had fans all along. I mean, the core people who were into it early on, they were still there. Recently, it came to my attention that this show was still going on and was coming to Los Angeles. Extremely long line to get in, comical prices. Let me just walk you through what Hot Import Nights is like in 2021. I'll make some comparisons to the old days, because I was a big fan in 2005, I'll tell you. I didn't want to work, I just wanted to enjoy the show, but I couldn't help myself, so I took an Instagram story and then saved it. So what you're looking at here is my IG story. So if you wanted to skip ahead, if you were an ahead skipper, now is a good time to start. Okay. Here's a Camaro. The body kit on this thing, I mean, it's just ridiculous carbon fiber pieces. You can tell by the way they're cut. There just can't possibly be a true aerodynamic. This is for style, is what I'm trying to say. Not that that's a bad thing. As soon as I saw that, just walking into the entrance, I was just like, okay, I need to take pictures of this, because I was having a good time. So, okay, back in my day, you did not have the color changing neon, and if you did, that was really high-end stuff. I'm not gonna look at GTRs and not take a picture. This last one might be a rear drive, a non-GTR Skyline, but still very cool. Skylines are cool. So far, I'm just like, all right, this is just cool Japanese car stuff. And then I found the stage, which is where you sort of start realizing you're not so much at a normal car show, but you're at a Hot Import Nights show. So this woman appears to be juggling, and sure, why not? And then we've got a hula hooper in front of this DJ who was kind of tearing it up, not gonna lie. It was pretty cool. Oh boy, let's get to it. Okay, all right. This is a quintessential Hin car. So as I captioned, I really miss show cars like this. I did, I wasn't kidding. This car is doesn't make a lot of sense. It's crazy over the top. Not necessarily functional, although it looks like it might be fast. It looks like something from a video game. And that is the point. That's kind of the point that we're gonna keep coming back to with Hin cars. And I think this, for people who don't really get it, this might be what you're missing. It's not really about building a performance car. It's about kind of creating a piece of art. These are really closer to lowriders, vehicles that are really extensively decorated. Really closer to that than to a tuner car, than a car modded for performance. They're kind of built out as caricatures. They're kind of like rolling emojis. And I think that's cool, personally. I mean, would I build a car like this? No, but do I like looking at it? Absolutely. And that's a big part of the reason I had so much fun with this show. All right, let's move on to the next. Okay. Yeah, all right. So we could speak at great length about the relationship between models and cars, and I think we'll need to interview some women in motorsports and women in the car scene and some models to really get a perspective on this. But I will say one thing. I feel like we've come a long way in kind of overcoming some old sexist tropes in the car scene, because so back in the day when I would go to these shows, you would have these models walking around and at the vendor booths, and they would always be, they would have Mashimoto tires or Infernus Racing or whatever. They would be kind of repping a brand. They would be there as props, and I think we can all agree that it's time for that to die. However, the women, and the models, they were all women, at this show, I noticed they were really more repping themselves than repping a brand, if that makes, well, quite literally. I mean, I didn't take a picture of this, but right around the corner from where these ladies were posing in front of the Supra, there was a whole area of just models of women standing with like posters of themselves, and they would be, instead of repping a brand, they were just like handing out stickers and signing posters with like their IG handle, and you know, repping their own brand. And I guess, for lack of a better phrase, I feel like that's a lot more of a positive relationship between modeling and the car scene than just like chicks wearing, you know, whatever. I think this topic is going to warrant further discussion, but that's my take for now. Okay, speaking of models, I'm not sure if this performer would. This is really more of an acrobat than a model. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is called, but someone's just on a gigantic hula hoop having a cool time. Yeah, this is just what was going on. It was just like a circus vibe. And then, of course, all right, we got another GTR. Not sure how this was in the country legally, but I was stoked to see it. 240Z. I dug it. I'm really into any non-standard car interior. Anytime you get like a very artistic looking door panel, like as you can see on the Z, I'm a big fan, so I like that. What else we got? The Sleepy High conversion. You got a 240SX. I cracked myself up with this. So, you know, you've got all these lights and sounds going off, and then in the corner there was just this 240SX with the Sleepy Eye conversion. Now, for those of you who maybe have not modded a pop-up headlight car, this was a popular thing. I did this to my RX-7. I had a second-gen RX-7, and the way you achieved this look with that car is you would open up the headlight, turn them up, and then as they were halfway up, you have somebody pull the headlight fuse, or the headlight motor fuse. You'd still want lighting, obviously. And, you know, really no purpose besides aesthetics. It makes the car look like a stoned man, and we thought it was so cool. And anyway, it was just kind of funny, because it makes the car look very expressive. Not a lot of commentary on the Supra, except the fact that it looked like a car from Tokyo Extreme Racer, which I was big into. This is an Evo X, last gen Mitsubishi Evo, and I got to admit, I stared at this thing for like a full 20 seconds before I realized what it was. I couldn't figure it out. Partially because the trunk was open, but I mean, there's a lot going on here. Like that Supra we were looking at earlier, this isn't really a high performance car. I mean, it might have had a lot of horsepower, but this is a show car. It's a unique thing. It's just meant to be crazy. It's meant to be a caricature. And I gotta say, this like weird khaki with the red and black is really working for me. It's kind of like a Jurassic Park Jeep look. Cars, the vibe, palm trees, sun's going down, a little rave action happening. This car had been doing like pulsing. The light they wrapped around their brake had been pulsing, and I wanted it to pulse so bad, but it wouldn't do it. And then, of course, as soon as I turned my phone off, it went on. Okay, yeah, this Audi. I genuinely like this car. Like, no irony involved. I thought okay, well, now that I'm looking at it again, the flares are a little wacky. It's a little bit too wide, but that decoration on the side, I really like that old school horizontal striping. I thought that was pretty cool. And I like modified cars with toolie boxes, cargo boxes up top. Not sure who this little bunny is, but I thought he was pretty cute. Here's the only third gen Acura TL that I saw, which I was intrigued by because I had one. I really like third gen TLs. And he had these VIP style, like very luxe looking curtains in the windows, which I thought was freaking awesome. And I think I need some in my car. Oh yeah, okay, we got another light show happening. Was that a Tacoma or a Tundra? Tacoma, older one. Once again, okay, we're gonna talk about lights because I love lights. So I wasn't kidding when I say lighting tech has come a long way. What we used to have 15 years ago was just, you'd get one color, none of this pulsing, none of this like moving, tracing lights, and if you did, it was very advanced. Look at the level of creativity here. We got freaking hearts in a turn signal and hearts in the brake. Look at the lights up in the trunk of this, I think that's an Accord. And in the back, it looks like an air ride system, all those hard lines and compressors. For those of you who may not be familiar, basically they've got airbags in the suspension, and then when they inflate it, it goes up to be able to move around, and when they deflate it, it sits on the ground to have that crazy look. Okay, all right. Why was I so excited about this? So this Camry, this was probably one of the jankiest like base cars that was like used for the show. Not that this one was janky. It was actually, someone had clearly spent a lot of time beautifying this Camry. I mean, shoot, that's like a late 90s Camry. and it lives. It lives as a show car. No body kit, which is kind of funny. Someone just did a really intense paint job and decided, you know what, their Camry's hood was going to open backwards. This is a big part of show car culture that you just either get it or you don't. It's like, yeah, the doors open weird, this hood opens weird. That's it. That's the tweet. That's the look. And it's just fun. It's cool. Yeah, just a parrot. I love parrots, so I took a picture of the parrot. That's all there is to that. You know, the fashion, it's funny to, not to like call this dude out because I don't know him or anything, but the fashion is pretty much the same as it was in 05. You know, oversized sweatshirt. I would say, I don't think we were really doing flat brims in 05. I think backwards hats. Everybody had the backwards hat going, and maybe trucker hats. Of course, I had to shout out to my fellow Z31 fans. I have a Z31. I've got an 84 300ZX. Mine's stock. Mine doesn't look anything like this. Super, super low. Kind of too low to use. Maybe the owner would think otherwise, but definitely looked nice. Looked tidy. This is actually kind of a nice photo. For what it is, for an iPhone Instagram story shot. Yeah, okay. Are you guys familiar with DDR? So DDR is that Dance Dance game, Dance Dance Revolution, where you step on the arrows. Yeah, this is a DDR themed car because why not? This is another classic Hin car style thing. I think it's the Coach brand, like fancy handbags and shoes. They're like pattern on a valve cover because sure. Yeah, just more lights. The lighting situation on this thing was freaking awesome. Yeah, so we had Too Fast, Too Furious playing. It's so insane. There's so many lights. Oh God, it's great. And we're back to the hula hoop, and it's got lights. Of course it does. I really appreciated this show. I'm so glad I went, and it was a lot of fun to see this stuff. What's cool about these cars is that they're made with love. Anyway, Huntingport Nights is still grooving in 2021. If you were not aware of this aspect of car culture, I hope you will check it out because it is very cool. I'm Andrew Collins. You just watched Car Bibles on YouTube. Thank you. And you know what? I gotta ask, please give us them likes and subscriptions because that's what pays the bills around here.